Game Chat 1, episode 51, boy.
Welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, your source for gaming news and reviews. Now, here's Bwana McCall.
Rewind!
Welcome.
I'm just joking. Welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, episode 51. I am your host, Elmo. This is Game Chat Bwana. My name is Bwana, and I will be talking about gaming. This is Game Chat Bwana. We're here at live.bwana.tv and at twitch.tv/Bwana. We do this here every Monday night at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Daylight savings time, whatever it may be. I get confused whether EDT or EST or ESP, ESPN, and ET phone home. But here at Game Chat 1, what we do is we talk about the last 7 days of gaming news, and what we do is we scour the internets and we look for those bestest, biggest. No, we look for the best stories that we can find, and what we do is that we gather them and we talk about them, we discuss them, we give our opinionated opinions on them. And what we do is that we try to find them, but we don't always find the best stories. That's where you guys come in. You join our community over at bwana.tv/forums. You go over there and you guys post stories to augment my particular stories. And together we form the Archon called Game Chat with Bwana. And then we top the Archon with a giant hat. And that's called Title Time. That's where you guys pick a title and we vote on the best title. And that title will be the title of the show. So if you go to the past Game Chat with Bwana, you'll notice that all the titles have these little witty sayings that have to do with the stories that we talk about. That's because you guys pick those titles and you vote on those particular titles. Like I said, guys, we do this every Monday night. This is a podcast. This is a show. This is a live interactive thingy with people. And we talk about video gaming news exclusively here at the Game Chat with Bwana. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started.
Game Chat with Bwana would not be possible without the support of our corporate partners. Twitch TV, Wirecast, YouTube, and 123 Systems. Thank you all for your support of Game Chat with Bwana.
Okay, so without further we're gonna kick off tonight's show with some of the biggest news that we could possibly come up with and think of and talk about, and we're gonna talk more about this over the coming weeks. But as you know, as we approach this April 10th deadline of pre-purchasing Guild Wars 2, this was recently announced, and everybody's just itching to get their wallets inside, or their money out of their wallets and put it inside of the people at ArenaNet's bank, and it's just people just throwing money at the screen and nothing's happening. So Guild Wars 2 will be available for pre-order on April 10th, and there's three editions listed here: $59.99, $79.99, and that collector's edition, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit more. Oh, this collector's edition. This needs its own tab. Holy collector's edition. This thing comes with like formulas for curing athlete's foot. Comes with everything. It's got this nice statue. Let me just read it off. 10-inch right locks figurine. I'm probably mispronouncing that. 112-page Making of Guild Wars 2 book. Best of Guild Wars 2 soundtrack CD. Art portfolio and 5 art prints. And a custom art frame. You also get the collector's edition digital items. Bunch of in-game stuff. Here's the thing that got me. It's big now. It's a lot of stuff, but they want $150 for it. $150. $50. I thought the last time I was going to see a $150 collector's edition was Call of Duty. Remember the prestige editions that came with like stuffs and like huge goggles and you know, the Halo edition. I thought that was, I remember I got the Halo ODST, not ODST, Halo 3 Legendary Edition with the Master Chef helmet. That Master Chef be cooking it, boy. Cook it, Master Chef. No, Master Chief. Master Chief helmet, and that was like over $100. But holy money, $150. That's a bit out of my range there, people. I want to play Guild Wars. I like the Guild Wars series, but I don't like it that much. Not to knock it. Those of you out there who love the series and you know, been playing Guild Wars for a long time and you're really excited about Guild Wars 2, hey, if you can save those bottle caps and aluminum cans and bottles to whip up $150, and by all means buy your little statue man and book and soundtrack and digital goodies for $150. I will be happy for you. But Bwana's probably gonna get the mid tier. Let's go back to that page. I'm probably gonna opt for the digital deluxe edition. That's usually what I pay for games that I really am excited about, because they usually come with the soundtrack, and a soundtrack usually ranges between $10 to $20. So I'm willing to pay $10 to $20 extra if they include the soundtrack for free, as well as some other in-game goodies that I usually don't care that much about. But this is going to include a lot of stuff, guys. The digital deluxe edition is going to include the Wolf Elite skill. You can summon the Misfire Wolf Elite, the Right Lock Miniature, the Golem Banker, the Chalice of Glory, and a Tome of Influence. So there's quite a bit of stuff coming here. Again, this is going to be available for pre-purchase on April 10th. Now, invites. This is kind of a related topic, but we're not going to talk about it in a separate story. But Guild Wars 2 beta invites have started to go out, and those particular individuals are under a heavy non-disclosure agreement. That's what we call an NDA. Basically, you're making an agreement with ArenaNet or the company that you're going to be testing, and basically saying you're not going to disclose any information. You're going to keep your mouth quiet. This particular NDA is going to be very tight, in that you can't even tell nobody you're in the beta. So if you tell somebody, hey, I was playing Guild Wars 2 last night, the thought police will appear out of nowhere in the form of Pikachu. They'll jump out of a ball in the form of Pikachu. They will proceed to spit fire on your eyebrows until you melt. No Guild Wars 2 for you. So be careful. If you are in the Guild Wars 2 beta and you open your mouth and tell somebody that you're in the Guild Wars 2 beta, little Pikachus are going to run around and spit fire on your eyebrows. All right? You heard it here first. I'm trying to help you guys. Man. People running around with burnt eyebrows. Check it out, guys. Over on buy.guildwars2.com. They got the details. They got all the information about all the editions that are coming out on April 10th. $59.99, $79.99, and the collector's edition for $150. Next story, we're going to talk about the BAFTA Games Awards. And we briefly talked about this last show, the show before. And we talked about Notch, the maker of Minecraft, winning the BAFTA Special Award for game developer and excellence and so forth and some such. But this particular organization, and it stands for the British Academy of Film and Television Awards for games. So BAFTA Games. And they have a list of awards, and some of them are, I think most of them are voted on by them, but I think they have one that's voted on by users, and that's like the Game of the Year award. They had a bunch of awards, and I gotta say, I like their list. I really like their list. Let's just go down the list and let's just go through them one by one. Best game, Portal 2. That was on my list of Game of the Year. Best game, Portal 2 by Valve. The special award went to Marcus Persson, which is Notch. We already talked about that. Action game went to Batman Arkham City. This is by Rocksteady Studios, Warner Brothers, etc., etc. Good game. Artistic achievement went to Rayman Origins. Again, I don't disagree with anything they said so far. Audio achievement, Battlefield 3, one of the best games out with, with the audio department. Can't disagree with that. Best debut game, Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. Well, that's where I just don't know what that game is. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on best debut game. Best design went to Portal 2. Best family game went to Little Big Planet 2. I can't argue with that. Game innovation, Little Big Planet 2. Okay. Yeah, okay. I would have went with something like, oh, I don't know, Bastion or I don't know, Bastion. Bastion just jumps out with game innovation for me because of the storytelling element. All right, mobile and handheld, Peggle HD. Okay, I played Peggle before. Kind of old, but I played it. Online browser, Monster Mine, never played it. Online multiplayer, Battlefield 3. Again, solid multiplayer title. Can't disagree with that. Original music, LA Noire. I've heard the music from the streams I've listened to, and sounds good. Okay. Performer, Mark Hamill as the Joker. You gotta like Luke Skywalker playing the Joker. I just messed up your mind. Those of you who didn't know that Luke Skywalker played the Joker, I'm sorry for breaking your brain, but I thought it was common knowledge. Mark Hamill is the guy who played Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6. And he's a Joker. He does a great Joker too. If you saw the Batman cartoons, that was Mark Hamill. Sport and fitness, Kinect Sports 2. All right, whatever. Story, Portal 2. Portal 2 had an excellent story. I don't know if I would have voted for the winner. I wish I would know the nominees. Portal 2 had a really good story though, I gotta admit. Strategy, Total War, Shogun 2. Can't believe StarCraft didn't. What? StarCraft didn't come out last year, did it? No, it didn't. BAFTA Ones to Watch Award in association with Dare to Be Digital. That's a long award name. TikTok Toys, never played it. And the Game Award of 2011, based on user votes, was Battlefield 3. So, yeah. A lot of these are in line with what you guys voted for in our community game of the years for 2011. Games of the year for 2011. So, like I said, I can't really argue with a lot of what they voted for here. I really like what they've done with this. I'm going to be following this because up till now I hadn't been following BAFTA awards. I was like, what the deuce is a BAFTA? And now I know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Check it out over on multiplayerblog.mtv.com. They got the details over there. Speaking of Diablo 3. I wasn't really speaking. Okay, Diablo 3 launching. This is a release date that has been announced. Something that a lot of you guys have been waiting on. People are like, oh my goodness, Blizzard. Oh my goodness, Blizzard. Oh my goodness, Blizzard. Every time they wake up in the morning, they're like, oh my goodness, Blizzard. I wish you would announce the Diablo 3 date. And then they go to school or work, and then they come home, go to sleep. Stupid Blizzard. Oh my goodness, Blizzard. Why won't you announce the stupid Diablo 3 date? And then they repeat that for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. Finally, it's coming out on May 15th, 2012. You can pre-purchase it now and be ready to play when the servers go live. So those of you waiting on the Diablo 3 game, minus PvP, you'll be happy to know you can pre-order. Now, guys, remember, last show we talked about Diablo 3. We talked about this game, and we talked about how they're going to strip out the player versus player. You know, one of the things they really highlighted at BlizzCon, if you watched the previous BlizzCons, the player versus player was a big thing in Diablo. It's going to be one of the new aspects of it, one of the innovative features, one of the new things to appeal to it, to appeal to players. So you're going to get the core Diablo experience, so that's what a lot of gamers are going for anyway. But if you're looking for PvP, that ain't going to be there at launch. So, yeah. So check it out, guys. This is over on us.battle.net. They got the details over there about some Diablo 3 launch dates, and I'm glad that guy who's waking up every morning can now rest in peace. Blizzard gave me a date to May 15th, and we're going to go ahead and buy it. That's how we do it.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
Okay, let's move on. And speaking of Diablo, this is the game, Torchlight, that I was talking about last show, that I was looking forward to more so than Diablo 3. Torchlight and Path of Exile are two Diablo-like games, which I think will be probably more like Diablo than Diablo itself. It's kind of sad. But the Torchlight Torchlight is a game that if you haven't played, you need to buy it. It's almost always on sale for like less than $10. And it is pretty much what Diablo used to be in a nutshell on the core elements. I mean, it's missing like a lot of the advanced stuff. But hey, it's a dungeon crawler. You're hacking and slashing a billion skeletons and ugly monsters, and you're loot shopping and looking for that better sword and that better axe and that better hammer. Pretty much what the game is. So, the CEO of Runic Games, Max Schaefer, has gone on to say some really, really heavy things. Oh, Doc, that's heavy. What is it, Marty, with the words of the wait in the future? Black the future. AAA games are stifling the industry. Ooh. Yes. Sir, your words have caused a tornado in people's brains. Yes, AAA games, and these are the big blockbuster games, the ones that have the big budgets and take forever to come out. Mass Effect 3, Call of Duty, Battlefield, all these big Assassin's Creed, big Guild Wars, big World of Warcraft, big titles. And he says, let me just get this quote here. We could still improve as an industry. This is Max talking. We could still improve as an industry in pushing innovation more than $200 million projects. So we can improve as an industry in pushing innovation more so than these big budgets. We stifle ourselves and our customers with overproduced 5-year development derivative games. We stifle ourselves and our customers with overproduced 5-year development. So he's saying that these long, big blockbuster AAA games are basically holding the industry back. Now, a lot of you have been saying the same thing. A lot of people who support indie games, and this podcast has talked about indie games and how they're really breathing new life into the industry. It kind of agrees with what we're saying, but he's pretty blunt. He says that we stifle ourselves. So he's basically talking to himself. And this is a guy who used to work for Blizzard. I mean, these guys are running games. They used to work on Diablo. So it does seem a little bit, I'm not going to say hypocritical, because he's saying, I admit that I was one of them. And then this is the one that I like. Well, actually, before I get to that, he says, he's talking about his company. He says, we have an independent spirit, a love for game making, a respect for our customers, and a fierce desire to stay small, nimble, and responsive. So here's a guy who has a gaming company who doesn't want the company to grow, like beyond their limits. And that's a good attitude to have. We're not trying to be the next EA. We're not trying to be the next Blizzard. We don't want an empire is what he's saying. We just want to carve out a niche where we can provide great games with incredible value. And that's what gamers want. They want great games with great value. Torchlight is a great example of a great game with great value. You can get, 80 to 90 hours out of the game and pay less than $10 for it. That is great value. Here's the part I like. He says, I'll get in trouble for this, but I look forward to the end of boxes and discs. Kill them with fire for all I care. The retail market has historically starved developers and narrowed the market for available games. Wow. Dude just don't care. Kill it with fire. Burn. Now, I talked about last show how I don't want brick and mortars to go away. And this guy basically disagrees with me. He says, burn them, kill them with fire. We don't want boxes anymore. We don't. I respect his opinion. Hey, I respect it. He said, I don't want boxes. I don't want this. Because they've been starving developers. Now, this is a perspective that I don't know. This is a perspective that me as a game podcaster, I'm not gonna call myself a journalist because I'm not even that. I'm just a gamer. I like games a lot and I talk about it, and you guys watch me talk about it. And I just know from my perspective that, you know, the convenience of not depending on the internet to get games is something I think should stay. I think a lot of people don't have to pay online. They shouldn't have to pay online to get their games. I don't think online gaming should be a requirement to play games. And, you know, if you get rid of boxes and discs, that's where I think we're going to go. And I don't think that's the ideal way. If we go that route, will I stop playing games? No. I like the internet. But still, I think that option to play offline should still be there, and buy offline. And, you know, play a single player game without ever having to connect is, I think we should always have that option with just about any game. But I don't want to kill him with fire. I do not want to kill it with fire, as he states in here. But I do agree with what he's saying in previous to that these huge development titles, these giant big budget, and these big budget titles are dangerous. Look at, you know, a game I love, Uncharted 2. I think it started a trend of basically taking gaming and the movie industry and putting them together. It was very entertaining for me. I really loved the game. I'm not going to knock Uncharted 2, but it started that trend. People saw this and they were like, oh my goodness, they've taken QuickTime Events, something that's been around a long time, and they did it really, really well. Heavy Rain came around, basically did something very similar, where you're basically playing a movie. And, you know, these movies that we watch, they take a long time to make. Lots of them do. The ones we watch in the theaters with the big budgets and stuff, not the independent ones. I'm not talking about those. So we're kind of seeing a parallel between the movie industry and the gaming industry now. You got big budget AAA titles, big budget AAA movies, independent titles, independent movies. Very, very interesting. So the attitudes are kind of similar as well. A lot of people don't like big budget movies. They see Michael Bay, they go, explosions, 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 gratuitous nudity, explosions, gratuitous skin, explosions, Michael Bay movie, end. You know. Then you got people like a guy who's making the Avengers, which is kind of it's messing with my brain. Josh Weldon. I call him Weldon. It's probably Weed now. Weldon. The guy made Serenity, one of the favorite movies of all time. Firefly the series, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all these things. Great comic books and everything. He's making the Avengers, and we're combining somebody who's loved by the independent industry with the big budgets, and everybody's just going, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? But guys, this is a great article. Check it out. It's got a great point. A lot of what you guys have been saying, what I've been saying, that the big games are really taking a nosedive in terms of quality. They're trying to deliver the bang, the booms, the big, you know, the impressive graphics, the impressive sound, but they're leaving out the fun factor. And that's what games all about. It's all about fun. Check it out, guys. EscapistMagazine.com. They got the details. Over there. Now, on a related topic. This is a related topic. Nexon, who has declared themselves the best in free-to-play online games, has stated the obvious. They think free-to-play games are the future. I mean, yeah, obvious statement is obvious, but they make a good point. Here's their quote. I think at some point the console makers, this is the guys at Nexon talking, this is the CEO, Daniel Kim. I think at some point the console makers have to make a decision about how closed or open they're going to be to the different models that are going to be emerging. Today it's free to play, and I'm convinced that that one is going to continue to flourish and expand into other genres and other categories. But there may be something else completely and entirely different that comes out that, again, can change the industry. Now, that's a very safe statement, very true statement. We've seen it in our community. We've seen it all over the internet. The free-to-play model has flourished. It started out as being a frowned upon, grindy, you know, can't stand, subpar game, you know, industry, to now players are spending a majority of their game hours on a free-to-play title. Look at League of Legends, you know, look at Heroes of New Earth, big titles, these free-to-play MMOs like Dragon's Nest. Players are spending hours and hours and hours in there. And the thing about free-to-play titles, it's a very perplexing model that confuses a lot of analysts, because players will opt not to buy a game for $60 and pay $15 a month, but they will get a free-to-play title and buy $50 worth of points every month. It perplexes analysts. They're like, well, what? I can't make heads or tails out of it. Hey, that's what some people want to do. I don't spend that much. I know a lot of gamers who don't. That's kind of the extreme example. But gamers do spend, you know, sometimes $15 a month easily on these free-to-play titles. And we in our community, a lot of us are playing games like Blacklight Retribution, which is free-to-play. Tribes of Sin. That's right now is my game of the year, Tribes of Sin, and it ain't even out yet. Free-to-play title. This is the first time ever I have considered a free-to-play title to be game of the year. Ever. And I've been doing this for, I don't know. I'm just making up numbers. Been doing this a while. First time ever a free-to-play title is up there in terms of quality, in terms of fun factor, in terms of support, and it ain't even out yet. So he's got a point. He's got a very, very good point. Look at Team Fortress 2, guys. Team Fortress 2 was a game that was semi-popular when it came out. You know, the Team Fortress community was like split. You know, a lot of people went back to Team Fortress Classic and a lot of people went to TF2. It gained some new fans. You know, the competitive market kind of sped up and then it kind of hit a plateau. And then Valve said, all right, let's throw hats in there. And then it just exploded. Now, everybody who has a PC that can play TF2 most likely has either tried it or is playing it. So it's a big change. And I like what he said at the end. There may be something else completely different and entirely different that comes out again that changes the industry. He's not close-minded to that this free-to-play model may not work in the future. You know, there may be something else that comes out. So he's got another quote here. If your mind is just set on keeping the current model of buying a game for $60, play for 40 hours, buy another game for $60, play for 40 hours, that model, I think, is eventually going to change. I agree. I can't agree enough. I can't agree enough. I mean, you got these AAA titles like Call of Duty with these 8 to 10 hour campaigns, and most people don't. Not most people. Some people don't pick up the multiplayer at all. It's like you pay $60 for 10 hours. Where's the replayability? Whereas the free-to-play model, you invest, you know, no money up front. You may get a few hours in. You may get 10 to 20 hours up front. Okay, throw in another $10. There's another 30 hours. Throw in another $10. There's another 60 hours. And then if you get good at the game, like in League of Legends, there goes 120 days of your time. And all you did was spend $20 on skins. On Captain Timo on duty. Skins. It's a model that we're going to have to keep our eye on, guys. Because I think Nexon's got a good point. I don't know if they're the best in free-to-play. But they definitely make a great point. Check it out, guys. Over in Escapist Magazine, they got the details over there. The $60 model has to change.
Please support Game Chat with Bwana by turning off your ad blocking software.
Okay. Oh boy. I may need more water for this next story. I've been trying to avoid Mass Effect 3 news. It's been the topic, I think it's been the title of the last 2 Game Chat shows. Mass Effect 3 and the controversial ending. The controversial ending of this game. If you haven't finished it yet, there may be some spoilers dropped, so pause, or you can mute the stream and pause the video or fast forward. Mass Effect 3. And I talked about this last show. I gave my opinion, and I said I was in the minority, that I didn't think the endings were as bad as people said they were. As a matter of fact, compared to the other games, I think they were kind of on the same level as Mass Effect 1's and 2's endings, which weren't all that great either. Not to say Mass Effect 3's ending was the best. Like I said, I guess it's my level of expectation as a new Mass Effect player, because I only started playing it a month ago, starting with 1 and went to 3. Now, I made a statement that I think Mass Effect players are spoiled. I was surprised I didn't get enough. I didn't get a lot of backlash out of that. I thought I was gonna get a lot of flack. I maybe have. I don't check my YouTube inbox, but on the comments of the video, nobody really complained about that statement. I said the Mass Effect fans are spoiled. They want to have control over everything regarding the game. Now, this particular story, this latest story, guys, I couldn't believe it. And it hasn't been confirmed, but a user has submitted on the BioWare forums, El Spico, that he has filed a Federal Trade Commission and Better Business Bureau complaint for Mass Effect 3. And here's what he wrote before I get to what I think. He says, I filed an FTC complaint against EA. ... So they must have left some stuff out there. After reading through the list of promises about the ending of the game they made in their advertising campaign and PR interviews, it was clear that the product we got did not live up to any of those claims. This thread has a great compilation of their claims, and he links to the BioWare massive thread. No pun intended. This is something I was happy to do. But after the terrible ending, that was in no way the product that had been advertised to me, and the lack of any kind of response from BioWare EA to address this, I felt it was one of my only recourses. He said it was something he was not happy to do. He says, this is not something I was happy to do. I would have said this is something I was not happy to do. I don't know. English nitpicking. I'll be returning my copy of the game before the end of my 30-day return policy if the ending still hasn't been addressed by them. So I think he's my statement of that the Mass Effect 3 fans, and I was making a general statement. I'm not talking about all Mass Effect fans, but in general, the Mass Effect fan base that's complaining seems a bit spoiled, because we deal with bad games all the time. This is a category of purchases called, like, this is entertainment. This is like going to a movie and all the good scenes were in the trailer, and you see nothing. You see nothing in the movie that's good other than you're like, oh man, I got robbed. Oh well, that's it. I hated that movie. I wasted my money, and most people just speak with their wallet. They just won't watch another movie by that director or by that studio. They're like, man, I'm not doing that again. I'm just not going to give them my money. But they leave the movie alone. They don't touch the movie. They don't touch the entertainment. They say, all right, it's bad. It's terrible. Blah, don't buy it. They'll tell their friends. They'll use word of mouth to try to prevent other people from suffering through that terrible movie. So with Mass Effect, it seems the fans, that's not good enough. No, change the ending. I have I have never heard of anything remotely similar to this, where a fan base told a game developer to change the ending. Change it. It's not good enough. Change it. Not that, oh, I want my money back or blah blah blah, or you better change it or and these are people who play the game completely. They didn't just play the game like, oh, the controller doesn't work with the game, or it's a physical limitation preventing me from playing the game, or there isn't, I press a button and nothing happens. Your game is that broken. You may be able to file something with the company to, submit a complaint ticket to support, say I want a refund because I try to play the game. Like us PC gamers, we can't even run the games half the time. But these particular fans, this fan, has decided to go to the Federal Trade Commission, guys, for a video game. I think, and I'm not just going by the chat, but I think a majority of people who were on board with the protests, who donated money, they've raised like $50,000, and I think it's more than $50,000 now. They're donating to charity to kind of make a point that this ending is terrible. I think a lot of people who were on board and donated, they look at this and they go, all right, that's just too much. I think a majority of people who were on board with the ending being that bad and demanding a change with an FTC complaint, I think they were on board with saying, all right, guy, you just took that way too far. So check this out, guys, over on GamePolitics.com. I'm not going to say much more about it. Like I said, I'm trying not to beat this horse into the ground because it's so dead. And I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. But this particular story just took the cake. I mean, it summarizes why I don't want to read any more about it, because it's just officially out of control. That's my saying. It's officially out of control. Mass Effect 3 buyer files for an FTC complaint. Check it out, guys. GamePolitics.com. Now, on to better news. SEGA. If you are a fan of SEGA games on the PC, you'll be happy to know, or you may not be happy to know, that they have signed a deal with Origin. SEGA's titles, such as SEGA Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai, is now available on Origin. Some new publishers have been added to Origin, including, Team 17, Rebellion, Calypso Media Digital, and lots of new games are coming to Origin. Now, when Origin first came out, it was primarily all EA titles, but slowly but surely, more and more third parties are coming on board with Origin. A lot of people don't like Origin. A lot of people believe that Origin is evil, that the software is spyware, that EA is evil. Nothing good can come of Origin. People will boycott any game that requires Origin. And I don't like the idea of games requiring Origin. A majority of Steam games don't require Steam. When I say majority of Steam games, I mean the AAA titles don't require Steam. Now, recently, some big titles such as Modern Warfare and what's the other ones? Skyrim and some others have incorporated Steamworks, which does require Steam, and a lot of people don't like that. But a lot of the games you see on Steam, the independent games, you can play them without installing Steam. But both of these companies, though, with Valve and EA, are kind of moving towards that paradigm. They're trying to get exclusivity. Not paradigm, that situation. They're trying to get exclusivity. They want their games to require the platform so that you will be forced to add friends on Origin, so that you can get all of the upsells through Origin. You can get all the upsells through Steam, that you will stay on that platform. Now, a lot of us hardcore PC gamers have both. We got Origin and we have Steam, myself included. But at the same time, when you think about digital gaming, when you think about digital gaming and digital platforms and digital distribution, you really don't want one platform. And that's going to be the next topic here with Notch. And the next story, I should say. Notch talks about this whole Origin thing. And I agree with what he says here. First, let's read his quote. He says that, I think it's a bit dangerous to only have one digital distribution platform like Steam. I love Valve, but out of principle, I find the idea of one platform a bit scary. And I gotta agree with that. When you don't have competition, companies tend to get evil. That's why we have monopoly laws in place. Companies tend to abuse that power. So he says, so I like that there are others competing. For example, Desura, Impulse recently got bought by GameStop. There's other ones out there. It's good that there are more. So I agree with that, with Notch's statement. And I don't know. I'm kind of torn, though, because it seems like both the companies with EA and Steam, they want to keep you, and they're skating that line of using immoral and bad practices to make you use the platform. And this is what Notch says. He says, Origin does a couple of things badly compared to Steam, which is impressive, since they have 8 years to study Steam. They should definitely have a chance to do their thing. But they might want to move away from titles that make people use it and show people why they should use it. And I can't agree with that statement more. I want you to sell me on the platform and not make me use the platform. All right, they're not giving us a choice. They're making us use it. And that's the part I don't like about Origin. That's the part I don't like about Steam in some cases, the Steamworks titles. It may be the best thing since sliced bread from a developer's perspective and end-user experience, but we're not given a choice. We have to use it. So whenever you are faced with that, you know, it's like you're trapped. So while we move towards digital distribution, we can go back to that story about brick and mortars burning down. That was the beauty of physical media. That was the beauty of going into a store, buying a disc, throwing it in your console, or buying a cartridge. You didn't depend on a single. This was back in the day. You didn't depend on a single store to go buy it from. You wanted to buy it from Walmart, you could. You wanted to buy it from Best Buy, you could. You wanted to buy it from or whatever, Toys R Us, you could. You plug it into your console, which was a single hub, and you would play. But now we're moving towards these online traps, these online jails, as I like to call them. So check it out, guys. This is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. They got the details about this whole Origin EA thing that's, you know, kind of scary on the surface. And I don't know. It's man, it's something I'm torn because I use these platforms, but I don't know if I want to stay with them if they keep doing this. And PC gamers likely don't have that much of a choice with it. So check it out, guys, over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. They got the details. And that concludes all of our stories that we have for tonight's show. We're going to move on to the user-submitted stories that you guys have put together on our forum.
Do you love Game Chat? Are you looking for a way to show your appreciation? Become a Bwana.tv premium subscriber. Check out the details at Bwana.tv/donate.
Okay, okay. We're going to move on to our user-submitted stories. Go to Bwana.tv/forums and sign up for our forums. And you can contribute to our community, as well as contribute to our Game Chat stories. We're going to start with Christian Nomel. BioWare, oh boy. Here we go with Mass Effect. BioWare have not made any decisions on changing the Mass Effect 3 ending. Oh boy. The elusive man. This website breaks my eyes. What the deuce? As the Mass Effect community continues to discuss and protest the ending, BioWare has released another official statement. Okay, so this is basically their statement that they released. We are aware that there are concerns about a recent post from this account regarding the ending of the game. In this post, it was stated that at this time, we do not have plans to change the ending. We would like to clarify that we are actively and seriously taking all player feedback into consideration and have ruled nothing out. This is basically a PR statement. At this time, we are collecting and considering your feedback. Man, this is hard to read. Gray text on black background, guys. Don't do it on your websites. Consider your feedback and have not made a decision regarding requests to change the ending. Your feedback and opinions are the utmost importance to us. We apologize for any confusion this may have caused. Our top priority regarding this discussion is to keep communication with you, our loyal fans, open and productive. PR statement 101. Nothing really of substantial value in there. They're just basically saying, all right, we're listening. We haven't committed to doing nothing. We haven't committed to doing something. We're listening. Herpy derp, we knew that. Nothing really. Pretty much what they had to do at this point. Okay. Thanks for that story, Christian. The next story is dangerous for Steam to dominate the digital PC market. And I think I talked about, man, you got to get a new website. Holy text. But yeah, this is one of the stories that I talked about already, that Notch and the Origin thing. So we already covered that. So thanks for that link. Moving on. Emeraldale. Rumor, Elder Scrolls MMO to be announced in May. Okay, Elder Scrolls MMO to be announced in May. This is a rumor. That means it's not confirmed. You know that pesky Elder Scrolls MMO rumor just won't die. Remember, it was like all... it's like worse than the Fallout MMO. We've been hearing scuttlebutt of a Tamriel-themed, massively multiplayer title for years now, and even though Bethesda has debunked such gossip, Tom's Hardware is citing an industry source who says the title is a reality. The latest rumbling posits that the game will feature 3 factions, will take place several hundred years prior to the events of Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. Also, some sort of official announcement is supposed to be scheduled for May. Following that, the source claims the MMO will have a presence at E3. So not only is it going to be announced, we're going to actually see some stuff about it on E3. According to this rumor, this is Tom's Hardware. This was the first hardware site that I read on the internet. Tom's Hardware guy. We used to call it Tom Shardware because it had Tom's and then hardware. We used to joke about that in college. Stupid joke. Tom Shardware. But yeah, Bethesda has yet to comment. It may be at E3, but we're going to be watching this one very closely. I think an Elder Scrolls MMO is risky. And the reason why I think that is risky is because I think one of the things that made the Elder Scrolls series so popular is that it isn't multiplayer. Players have the ability to, you know, roam worlds, do whatever they want without having to worry about internet connections, without having to worry about players, without having to worry about servers going down. If they want to play 40 hours straight, they got the electricity, they can do it. I think it's risky. I'm not saying it's gonna fail. I just think it's risky, especially with the MMO saturation that's going on and the free-to-play stuff we talked about. Pretty much any MMO that comes out now is gonna pretty much have to be free-to-play unless it's huge. And we've said this before. I still say it. I think what's the title? Star Wars: The Old Republic is going to be the last pay-to-play MMO. Now, Terra is coming out in May. It's going to be pay-to-play. I don't know how long it's going to last, though. I mean, the whole pay-to-play thing is rare now. EverQuest just went free-to-play. One of the oldest MMOs out, you know. We talked about Aeon going free to play. You know, Rift has a free to play 1 through 20, and WoW has a free to play 1 through 20. So that entry cost, you know, unless they do a free to play thing, I don't know. It's kind of risky. Check it out. Joystick.com. Thanks for the link, Emrandil. Next link is Kingdoms of Amalur MMO due later this year, says artists. So here's EA's Skyrim. That's what I call Kingdoms of Amalur. It's whoa, that ad. Just take it over my screen, why don't you? PlayStation Vita. Kingdoms of Amalur MMO due later in the year. Says you just scrolled by yourself. That ad must have went away. Due later in the year. Comic book artist and Kingdoms of Amalur designer Todd McFarlane has been to start about his work on what? Oh, is this an event? Yeah. I'm like, that's not English. About halfway through, he mentions that the team is still working on building a full-scale Kingdoms of Amalur MMO and says that it's supposed to come out later this year. From the mediocre game that nobody bought and doesn't really like that much comes a big giant version of that game, he quipped. I don't know. Did this game not do well in sales? I have not been tracking it. I played the demo and it was okay. I didn't buy the game. I saw people play it. You know, but I haven't seen much of it lately. So yeah. Don't know. But again, same statement I made about the previous article applies to this one. MMOs are risky, man. You're going to do an MMO. I hope it's free to play. Check it out. PC Gamer. They got details. Thanks for the link, Emrandil. New Humble Bundle Android 2 now available. And yes, I am aware middle click opens a new tab. I have my middle mouse button to do other things, so I'd rather not do that. Humble Bundle. Pay what you want. These are some games for the Android device. Android, Mac, Linux, and Windows. So they got Sword and Soldiers. Oh my goodness. Swords and Soldiers. Cannabalt. Zenbound 2. Cogs. Heard of Cogs. Avandon. And then you can donate to charity. So it looks like this just started. I think it started just today. I saw the email in my inbox. 35,000 purchases so far. 14 days left. So you got plenty of time to save up those pennies to donate to your favorite charities, whether it be to the developers, whether it be to the EFF or Child's Play, or just a tip to the Humble Bundle peoples. They do support PayPal, Amazon payments, and Google Checkout. So thanks for that. Humble Bundle is now up there. Red Harbinger PC Desk, kind of gaming related. Ooh. Ooh. Big gaming PCs are great, but finding room for that giant case with all its fans and graphic cards can be... Now, I've seen this before in the past, but not nearly this awesome, where they basically build a PC inside of the desk that you're working with. So you can actually... I actually seen a glass case where you saw the PC components on the desk. Ooh. Harbinger's latest work, dubbed Across, comes with 3 screens and space for enough components to build 2 PCs inside. It also has room for 28 hard drives, 14 fans, and 4 water cooler radiators. That's pretty awesome. Components sit underneath the glass desk, separated up in a modular fashion to improve cooling and reduce noise. The internals are all illuminated with customizable LEDs, all the better to bathe your pallid skin with artificial hue. Okay. There's no word on price. Oh, it's probably 50 grand. Oh, man. Alternatively, you can find the instructions here to build something similar. I think that this is what I saw. This was a few years ago. Some guy actually did that. He made a desk, built the PC inside of the desk. It was one of the coolest things you could ever see. But holy wow, this is a very nice find. Thanks for that, Katos. Whew. Man. Next story from Sarams. Dragon Age 3 in the works. Dragon Age 3 in the works. Let's see. We kind of knew Dragon Age 3 was coming eventually. Dragon Age 3 may be in development. Earlier today, Dragon Age creative developer Mike Laidlaw wrote on Twitter that the Dragon Age development team at BioWare is done working on the Dragon Age 2 and has fully moved on to the next thing. As for what the next thing may be, he added in the second tweet, we'll be very actively looking for feedback on the next Dragon Age title, and we'll be showing the game more than before as it develops. So that's pretty much saying they're working on Dragon Age 3. Until then, Dragon Age 2 patch 1.4 has been released, blah, 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 blah. So let's see if EA does this correctly. Dragon Age 2 didn't get a lot of good reviews. I didn't play it. I have it. Still haven't played it. Oh, these RPGs, man, you just have to carve out like a month to play them. But I just haven't had time to play Dragon Age 2 yet. But check it out over on pc.ign.com. New details on Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Ooh, Baldur's Gate. Oh, you skip it. All right. New details for Baldur's Gate. 2D graphics, mod-friendly, incoming first screenshots. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 will get an enhanced edition that will be released this summer. That's coming up pretty fast. Naturally, PC fans of these two games have a lot of questions. So we know for a fact that this will come to the PC, contrary to the previous iOS Android rumors. There's currently only the PC version confirmed. And the enhanced editions will be 2D games and not 3D remakes. Beamdog will use our GPUs mainly for acceleration purposes. So get those graphic cards up to date if you want to play. Furthermore, Beamdog is trying to create these enhanced editions as mod-friendly as they can. That's good to know. Oster said that they'll take mods seriously and that both current and future mods are important to them. Good. That's very good. That's a good way not to alienate their community with Baldur's Gate, especially the people still playing it. Yep. Thanks for that link, Sarams. And we're going to move on to some Nicholas fun stuff. Valve on bringing the PC to E3. That portal. Let's skip to the quotes. Here we go. Who is this? Valve's Doug Lombardi. If you saw Gabe's DICE speech about 3 or 4 years ago, his keynote there, he basically gave an update on where we were and where we saw PC going and what trends we thought were interesting. It was probably 35, 40 minutes. Something like that might be something that would be cool. I think that maybe having someone maybe like Blizzard there, that's just way too many maybes in one sentence. Let's read this again. I think that maybe having someone maybe like Blizzard there, maybe someone like Nexon there could be an interesting thing. Come on, man. That's a lot of maybes. I think you're just dodging the question. But I don't know what they're talking about. What is he talking about? They're talking about just bringing a lot of PC gaming companies to E3. Is that? We've talked a bit about blah, 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 vis-a-vis console guys. So basically, they're talking about how the consoles rule E3. Which I agree with. I think the consoles do rule E3. And I guess PC gamers want a PC presence there. So, I don't know. Does PC gaming need a show? I think indie Indie PC gamers need their own show. And not get swallowed up by all the lights and glamour of these big shows. I think we need an indie PC gaming. I don't know about the big ones. Maybe the big ones can show up. I don't know. So, bringing the PC to E3 is a valid concern. I do agree with that. But whether we need our own show or not, I'm kind of scared of that. Thanks for the link, Nicholas. Fun stuff. Fish Twit. eBay seller thinks his video game collection is worth 35 grand. Oh, we'll see about that. Ooh. Would you spend $35,000 on a case of full video games? Nope. On one hand, this eBay seller is pawning off an impressive collection of games that include rare gems like Suikoden 2, Earthbound, Snatcher, and a whole lot of other titles for Super NES, Sega CD, Game Boy Advance, and other consoles. On the other hand, you could buy a new car, down payment on the house, 538 new console video games, 2 months rent in a Manhattan apartment, 35,000 chocolate bars, chocolate, 7 engagement rings. How do you... $5 grand engagement ring? Why did you come up with that? A full-time intern to act out the entirety of Earthbound so you don't have to buy it. That's true. But nope. I don't think I don't think I'd pay 35 grand for a said video collection there. Nope. 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 No. Check it out, guys. Kotaku. Thanks for the link. Fish to it. Fans who purchased Mass Effect 3 via Amazon are getting full refunds. Saw this today on Reddit myself. This guy on the BioWare social network forum said that Amazon is giving him a full refund for his open collector's edition game. Maybe I can find another game that doesn't crush my soul to spend that $80 on. I don't... You play the game from start to finish and you want your money back. That's like watching, like I said, it's like watching a movie, not liking a movie, and expect to get your money back. Mass Effect fans, man. Generally, you guys are making a bad reputation for yourself. I thought Final Fantasy fans were bad. I thought Halo fans were bad. I thought Call of Duty fans were bad. Woo, boy. This past month, Mass Effect fans are really just... I'm talking in general. I mean, someone who's been following this story, if you mention Mass Effect fan in them, they're going to say, oh, they're spoiled. Goodness. Anyway, thanks for the link, FishTwit. Moving on, Technifin. Reasoning behind Battlefield 3 DLC delay explained by DICE, quality over speed. The big reason that the DLC is taking so long, this is Battlefield 3 DLC, is that we pushed hard on BF3 and lots of developers pushed vacations, parental leave, and other things for a while to ship a product they could be proud of. After that was done, it takes a while to get people back into the office and up to speed. So basically they've been goofing off for the past 3 months. Better from our perspective to wait a bit on the DLC and deliver quality content with plans to deliver different types of content for different types of players over the lifetime of BF3 rather than hurry one map out. So they're going to take their time on the DLC, make sure everybody's up to speed, make sure babies are doing well, make sure families are not breaking up. But yeah, if you look at Battlefield, if they're going to follow the same premise as Battlefield 2, it has a really long lifespan, so there's no real need to rush out new content. Now, patches and updates, I'm glad to see that they're still doing that. Now, if they were to push, like, you know, one patch every 5 months, then I'll be like, all right, y'all, I need to step it up. But they've been pretty on top of these, on things, especially with bug fixes and tweaks and balance changes and stuff like that. So, not like DICE hasn't been doing anything. But, yeah, thanks for that story, FishTwit. So, Soapy has a spoiler, if you're into StarCraft 2. If you don't want to know who won the Texas Lone Star Clash, which was a recent tournament this weekend in Texas, of course, close your eyes. And boom. Stefano wins the Texas Lone Star Clash. We saw, let's see, Pulse, Stefano, Sleep, Grubby. I think Destiny was there. I saw Dragon was there. No, there was another event. There was a Red Bull LAN. I think Destiny was at the Red Bull LAN. I'm not sure. It was a lot of stuff going on in StarCraft too. But yeah, Stefano, one of the stronger Zerg players in StarCraft 2, won the tournament, beating his nemesis Pult. Pult is a very, very good Terran. Good grief. Oh my goodness, he's scary. In one grand final, the first clash between the two of them was in the upper bracket finals. Stefano expressed his fears regarding Pult since he lost the past 2 tournaments he attended against them, and I saw one of those. So Stefano has overcome the Beast Master, Pult, and yeah, he wins Lone Star Clash. I think the prize, yeah, top prize was $5 grand, and TSL Pult got $3 grand for second place. Grubby came in fourth. It's good to see Grubby back in the top. Okay, thanks for that, Sir Soapy. And denied Shepard's indoctrination theory. Gosh. Oh, these Mass Effect stories, man. Shepard's indoctrination theory explains Mass Effect ending completely. Or, the ending was a hallucination and the fight isn't over yet. Mind-blowing revelation contained within. So, yeah, another Mass Effect 3 spoiler. I watched this video. I'm not going to show it here, but I watched this video. Ooh. Updated code of conduct. Sure. I'm not going to act like a derp. I did watch this video. And I have to say it made sense. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Lots of sequences in that ending, or in the endings, because there is more than one ending, contrary to what people will tell you. Well, it's the same ending 3 times. Not exactly. Contrary to, I mean, not contrary, but the thing that I saw, the inconsistencies with what was happening, they were confusing. I think that's why a lot of people didn't like the ending. Because a lot of endings of games and movies, they explain everything. Some endings leave certain things open-ended and have a complex meaning behind it. This is where people exercise their artistic license and say, all right, I'm going to have this profound, deep meaning in the ending. And now that they've played through 75,000 hours of the game, they will come to realize it and they will appreciate the game even more. But what they don't realize is that people who get confused think the ending sucks. So the whole idea in Mass Effect, the whole idea behind Mass Effect is, you know, you got this thing of these beings taking control of you. And they do it rather easily. And throughout the whole series, the main character was never in jeopardy of being indoctrinated. All these other people were like, you know, taken over by these creatures, you know. Even in the first Mass Effect, that's where we learned about it with Saren. He was indoctrinated. So the whole idea behind indoctrination is, you know, you're under control, you don't even know it. So the ending of the game kind of had this surreal derp. It's like, where is it going? You know. And this theory posted on this site basically is saying that Shepard was indoctrinated and it was pretty much a hallucination to get him to do what he did. The reason I agree with that, because I got the perfect ending the first time I went through because I worked hard at it. Yes! I got the perfect ending, which, spoiler alert, Shepard wakes up and a lot of people don't talk about this. He wakes up. All of a sudden, at the end of everything, you see Shepard in a pile of something, and he wakes up, which, you know, contradicts a lot of what we just saw, unless it was a hallucination, unless he was being indoctrinated. You know, there's so many things going around with this. Some people think we're reaching. Some people think it's going crazy, but the theory is that there was a leaked screenshot of some DLC that's coming, and apparently this DLC is going to be free. This theory states that this DLC is going to explain what happened. It's going to prolong the game. In essence, this theory says that the game wasn't over when it ended there. That was just that was actually, I don't know what to call it, but that wasn't in it. That's a theory that this thing has. It's called the indoctrination theory. It makes a lot of sense, and they go through, I'm not explaining everything. They go through point by point all the inconsistencies, all how everything lines up. The kid in the beginning that nobody saw. Nobody ever saw the kid, and nobody, you know, a lot of people aren't talking about that. Nobody ever saw the kid except Shepard. So that could be the way that he got indoctrinated from way back then. How the kid just vanished, and, you know, how he got on the ship and nobody helped him, and nobody even acknowledged his presence. And so it's a lot of things that are going into this. So whether this is true or not, I don't know, but it makes a lot of sense. I just can't wait till it's over, because if you go to the Reddit subreddit of Mass Effect, that's all they talk about. A lot of gaming sites, that's all they talk about with Mass Effect. I'm kind of getting a little bit, I'm getting indoctrinated myself. Okay. Thanks for that link. Denied. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the Christian. You already did 2 links, so you're cheating. I'm not gonna read your last link. You can't cheat. See up here? You got 2 links. You can't post another post and do 3 links. Limit 2 links, guys. That concludes all of our stories for episode 51. Guess what time it is, y'all? Guess what time it is? It is title time. The title time is when you guys submit your titles for whatever the show's talking about. You come up with witty titles to make sure that it makes everybody laugh when they read the title. So when they come to game chat, they go, hey, I know what that story means, and I'm laughing. Let's do it. Titles, tight titles. Okay. The titles are rolling in. I'm waiting for a little bit of a buffer. Let's go. Mass Effect 3 chat with Bwana. Torchlight dev lighting the way. El Spico was indoctrinated to file an FTC complaint. Thought police, I choose you. Max Schaefer blows out the Torchlight on the AAA games. BAFTA the future. Creators of Mass Effect 3 are BioWare of your concerns. SEGA, it's in the game, on Origin. 150 reasons not to buy collector's editions. Origin devours SEGA as an ad trolls Bwana. A BAFTA value turns on for Portal 2. Assuming direct governmental control. The gaming industry on blast. Brutus TV has no PC. If you have the change, a $60 model will change. Guild Wars is a secret. Make sure everybody knows. That Luke Skywalker, what a joker. Why you know Guild War 2 beta invite? You want desk? We got desk. Mass Effect brats assemble the masses. BioWare will have a new age and dragons. I have to take a BAFTA. Wait for pre-purchase, wait for beta, wait for release, wait for download. ETA 5 years. Stop having a Guild War. Diablo 3 has a release date. Sooner or later, you'll break down and buy AAA games. I play the Guild of Welded 2 beta. Everyone drools over the Epic computer desk at Black. Yeah. Silly publishers. Boxes are for gamers. A $50 game? No. Free game with $50 perks? Yes. Kill the boxes with fire, he said. No evil companies, they said. Nexon, Nex off. Mass Affected. Mass Effective Headaches. Free is a magic number. Pre-order Diablo 3 and stifle the industry on May 15th. A mass refund. El Spico Files El Suto. Mass Effect 3 for the third time. $160 for a statue. Oh, you get a game too. BioWare's response, bump you. EA Skyrim, Bethesda Amalur, desktop. What means this top? Not Steam's Up Origin. BF3 DLC, sorry, we're playing dice. The Mass Effect listens, but doesn't fix the 3 endings. Game Chat 1 indoctrinated to post 3 Mass Effect 3 titles. Massive fan, headache affects rest of the gaming world. Explanation coming to a Mass Effect near you. Laptop, desktop, or desk. Woo! Y'all got a lot of titles. Alright, let's choose some candidates here. Let's choose some candidates. Let's see here. So many Mass Effect titles. Let's see. We got one here. Brutus TV has no PC. That's funny. These are good. I'm having trouble. I'm sorry guys, but I'm trying to choose non-Mass Effect titles because I'm gonna get one good one, but man, it's like the last 2 shows have been Mass Effect. Such good ones though. Okay. Alright, I gotta make a decision. I'm just reading through these laughing, but I gotta make a decision. Alright, we're gonna go with... No. Not that one. Where's the... Here it is. It keeps scrolling. Every time I see it, somebody says something and it scrolls up and then I have to adjust my eyes. Alright, here's 2. Well, I gotta make this smaller, huh? Can I make these bold? Nope. No formatting. And then I gotta get one more. Let's see. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Alright, 3. I think I'm gonna get 4. I gotta find one. I gotta choose from these billions of Mass Effect titles. Okay. Murph, I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna change yours a little bit. I'm gonna say massively effective headaches. Okay. We got 4 titles, guys. 4 titles. I'm gonna paste them in the chat in case you can't read that. I don't know if B. George is here. I will do poll create. And let's see. Let's paste them in here. That's 1. Nope. I messed up. Fail. There we go. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Don't start yet. S4, pull, start, go. I need to turn on text wrapping. That's probably the problem. I can just do this. One, that Luke Skywalker. What a joker. Stop having a guild war. Diablo 3 has a release date. 3, free. It's a magic number. And 4, massively effective headaches. All right. Votes are still rolling in. And 10 more seconds. All right, poll stop. Poll results. And the winner is that 3, free. It's a magic number. Congratulations, Fish Twit. Was that Fish Twit? Congratulations, Fish Twit. You win title time for Game Chat 1, episode 51. The episode will be called Free. It's a magic number. Yes, it is. And Fish Twit, you don't win any physical prizes because here at Game Chat with Bwana, we don't have things to give away. We have what we call Game Chat with Bwana accolades. Them bragging rights that you're well aware of. You have a trophy case full of accolades that shine brightly in the night. You don't need a night light because they glow naturally with Game Chat with Bwana-ness. If there was an element that glowed on its own, it would be called Game Chat with Bwana-ness. So you have it, Fish Twit. Congratulations, Fish to the Twit. You are the man. Title number 5,648. And that concludes episode 51. I want to thank everybody for watching. We are here at live.bwana.tv and at twitch.tv/Bwana. I want to thank again everybody for coming by live. We do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you can't make it, I'm sorry. But you can watch our recording over at YouTube on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IOBuffa. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Bwana. Follow me on Google Plus. I'm Bwana McCall. You can follow me. We got a Reddit site, guys. I didn't mention this last show. We do have a subreddit called r_Bwana_TV. r_Bwana_TV. You can just go to reddit.com/r/Bwana_TV. We got some people there. We post some stories there. We have some fun in our Reddit community. Join our forum at Bwana.tv/forums. And like I said, guys, I am definitely happy with the turnouts we've been getting lately. I think you guys are spreading the word about Game Chat. More and more people are hearing about it, coming to the live show. I'm seeing new names every week. So continue to talk about it. Spread the word. If you like it, tell your friends. Like, hey, check out this show. Some people even say on the site, like, hey, when I just turn on and play Minecraft, and I listen to the podcast in the background while I'm playing Minecraft or while I'm doing something. That's what podcasting. That's like where podcasting came from. A lot of people just have it playing in the background, like a radio show. All right, guys, that concludes episode 51 of Game Chat 1. I want to thank everybody for coming by, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Have a great day, night, evening, morning. Bye-bye. Cut. Ooh, how long was that show? That was about an hour and a half.